Hey, what's your name, bro?
Darren.
Darren. What's your name, bro?
Stone.
Stone. Martin. I want to deal with what you said first. You said you don't believe in God, right? 1 Corinthians 1:22. Let me show you something. So, let me ask you this right here, because in our community, a lot of people have a hard time believing God is real. Why? Let me ask you, why you feel like that?
I'm more of a believer in science, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that makes sense.
But why you believe in that? Because it's stuff you can physically see?
Not necessarily, but, well, yeah, basically, yeah.
So it's proof, right?
Yeah.
All right, listen, we always rode in that spirit as a people, right? So let me show you that. Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 22. For the Jews require a sign.
So we require a sign, right? If we don't see it, we don't really believe it. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of where you at right now, right? So with the scriptures, I'm going to show you that God is real just based off the conditions that we in, right? Go to Psalms 9 and 16. Psalms 9 and 16. Let me show you this. Just like the brother was going over, we'll curse people. Why did that happen to us? And it's going to tie into how God is real. See what I'm saying? But why did that happen to us? Why do you think that? Why do you think we're in the conditions that we in?
Based off what I read, they say they had something to do with our ego or something at the time.
Okay, being rebellious. I feel you. What you got? Okay, I feel you. Evil communications. We've been taught all type of wickedness. So what you think? Why you think we're in the conditions that we in?
I just feel like black people as a whole, compared to other races, like if we had a line up for a race or whatever, black people have started, everybody else got a head start. You feel me?
Yeah, you're right. So you feel like we just at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? We don't get the advantages that other races get, right? Okay, so let me show you how this, because all those are curses that you just named that the Lord put upon us. But I'm going to show you how it ties in to God being, like he's real. He's the living God. You see what I'm saying? Let me show you. Read that.
Psalms chapter 9 and verse 16. The Lord is known.
So it said the what? Listen, bro, check it. Pay attention. It's going to answer your question. It said the what?
The Lord is known.
The Lord is known that he's real. By how?
By the judgment which he executed.
By the judgment which he executed, right? So what's some curses or some judgments that the Lord put on us to let you know he's known, he's real? I'm going to show you. Go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 32. No, verse 46. Because we talking about signs. The brother want to see a sign. We're going to show you that God is real. Because guess what? You say you believe in science. What type?
Not a specific type. I just
like just biology, like just the like where you feel like we come from?
In evolution. I believe.
So you believe in evolution, right? So where do we evolve? What do we evolve from? Where were we first, and up to where we are now? Where were we first? You feel like we was monkeys? Cause that's evolution.
I don't feel like we were monkeys necessarily, but I feel like we was covered in hair and goddamn, like we wasn't no, I don't know how to put it in words, like we wasn't
a civilization. We weren't. What you mean? We was like on some Neanderthal type thing?
We was that too. People who started off.
We wasn't that. The people who taught you that you was that, and the roles were switched. And I'm gonna show you that too. But stay right here. Read that right quick.
So you believe that different races ain't, like, they come from different type of people, like they not human? Like, I don't.
What you mean?
Right, alright, so Neanderthals and
we all different.
Right,
every race is different.
Understood, but what I'm saying, like,
and we all don't come from the same man. Because every race, according to the Bible, started with a man, right?
Right.
The Edomites, which is the so-called white man today, biblically, they come from Edom, Esau. The Israelites, which is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they come from Jacob in the Bible, Israel, right? He changed the name to Jacob, changed the name to Israel, right? The Moabites that's in the Bible, that's the so-called Chinese today. They come from Moab. See what I'm saying? These men was put on the earth and they became great nations. See what I'm saying? So we all come from Adam, but we still different because we come from different men after Adam. See what I'm saying? Right? But let me finish the point. Let me show you this right here. So the Lord said he's known by his judgments, right? This is how we know that God is real. Check this out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So that's a sign, right? Y'all, you requiring a sign, right? So you see the sign on the street. What is this sign designed for? This sign right here, it say rain. So what is it designed for?
Let you know where you at.
To identify where you at, right? So these signs or these curses was gonna be on God's people to let them know who they are today. Because if I ask you what's your nationality, what you gonna tell me?
Black.
You gonna tell me black, right? What you gonna tell me? Black? What you gonna say? Black? Okay, so that's not a nationality, right? So let me show you this. Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
And for a wonder. We gonna wonder if God was real. Just like what you dealing right now, right? Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
And we was gonna pass down these type of the thought process, these curses to our kids. Instead of generational wealth, like the other nations they take in, our kids take in these generational curses because of our disobedience to God. Right? So let me show you. Read verse. Keep reading.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
So that's the point right there. We didn't want to serve God, so he put us at a lower state. Read verse 43.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So let's go back to the topic that we were just talking about with the other nations. Are these people better than us? They're above us. So you tell me some ways that they're not better than us.
I wouldn't say they're above us. If you look at
No, they're above us. They're above
financial
us.
standing, it's
Financially,
above us.
politically, they run the world, right?
Right.
We at the bottom. Like, it starts with the white man, then they come on down, but we at the bottom, right? So the East Indian, he don't run the world, but he above us. He above the white man, but he above us. The Chinese man is below the white man, but he above us. You see what I'm saying? So you tell me in what ways we better than them.
There's no way to say you better than somebody if you ain't got as much as them. Can't say that.
I feel you. I feel you where you coming from a corner standpoint. But physically, you require a sign. Like, you certain stuff that you can see that we do that's better than them. You tell me.
We got the physical.
We got the physical,
part. Yeah.
build up. Okay, what else?
I would say that we got a stronger mental state. We could take more.
We do
than
got
the average.
we got a better
person.
endurance.
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
That's about all I got.
That's all you got. What you got?
And if you go back in history and look at the creation of, black people, it shows that we created and invented a lot of stuff, so our mindset is really different than the other races from the stuff that was created from black people.
Right. I like that because a lot of people like to leave that out. When it comes to education, mathematics, y'all know we invented all that, right? Everything you see and touch is us. But we at the
Get
bottom.
ready for it.
We at the bottom. That don't make no sense, right? And going back to what you said, the physical, they can't physically, you know what I'm saying, detain us like that. So it's got to be a higher power doing that, right? What's up, bro? What's your name? Come on over here and listen to this. It's some good news. Check this out. But listen, we get to a point. God is real by his judgments, right? So that's a judgment right there. The fact that they can't physically bound us down like this, it's got to be something higher than them that's doing this. And for what reason? That's why we out here to let you brothers know that, right? So remember the point. I don't want you to forget. Don't want you to forget. God is known by his judgment. This is how we gonna know he real, right? Go to verse 68. Let me show you. Let me show you this, right? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So this was Moses talking to the Israelites. He said, the Lord gonna bring you into Egypt again, right? What does Egypt mean according to the Bible? Do everybody know?
What does it mean?
What does Egypt mean? Or just, what's the definition for it? It's out there. Life? Okay, what you think?
I didn't know what the meaning until he.
Yeah, every word means something. It's a great man said that. what you think?
Egypt. I know all of this was connected at one point, and then over time it was separated for some reason.
Okay, so Egypt, this is the meaning of Egypt. So they said the Lord is going to bring you into Egypt again, right? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
So Egypt means the house of bondage. So the Lord said, I'm going to take you back into the house of bondage. What does bondage mean? Incarcerated, tied up. What does bondage mean? Slavery. So the Lord saying, I'm gonna bring you into slavery again. But how?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
That's a sign right there, brother. With ships. What other people went into slavery on ships besides our ancestors? Besides the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They happened to them too. You see what I'm saying? But they got this thing called divide and conquer. You see what I'm saying? And make us think we different and make them think the curses that they went through is different. But they went through the same thing we went through. They just went through it before us. You see what I'm saying? But it said we was gonna go into slavery with ships. That's a sign right there, bro. Listen, I want you to really grasp what I'm telling you. Listen, I'm trying to connect how God is real and the punishments that he put on us makes it clear that he's real. You see what I'm saying? If this was written beforehand, you see what I'm saying, about man, and a man, like how I'm explaining to you now, Moses explaining to them, how would the Lord would have to be dealing with this man, you see what I'm saying, for it to come to pass years later. You see what I mean? So that's how we know God real. That's one thing, one sign that we can see that you believe that we went into slavery on ships. Because some people don't believe that happened. That happened, right? That was by the will of God. That had something to do with the Lord because of our disobedience. You see what I'm saying? You see how I'm trying to connect it? It said the Lord is known by his judgments. That's a judgment. The Lord is real. That judgment happened. So the Lord is real. We went into slavery on ships. Our kids were given to other people. All this stuff is in the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? Moses was like, listen, the Lord said this was going to happen to you. You see what I'm saying? Read that.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
So the prophecy of us going into ships in old time and in slavery on ships didn't come by the will of man. Because what's the will of man? Meaning, like, what man want to do? What's the will of man? Stealing, killing, robbing, drug dealing. That's the will of man. Carnal things. You see what I'm saying? But it said it didn't come by the will of man, but by who?
But holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
As they was moved by the Most High. Letting you know, listen, if you don't keep God's commandments, go back. These curses are going to come upon you. You was going to go into slavery on ships. You see what I'm saying? The Lord was going to put harsh judgments on you. You see what I mean? Your kids are going to be taken away from you. Feel what I'm saying? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Let's run back to it.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So Egypt was what? What we say Egypt was? Bondage. Bondage, right? What was another word for bondage? The brother said it. Slavery, right? Read.
Again, with ships.
With ships. Did that not happen to us? That was a judgment that happened to us. You see what I'm saying? And remember you said earlier, bro, they can't physically take hold of us and make that happen. So the Lord had to be over that thing. You see what I'm saying? The Lord had to be orchestrating that thing for it to happen, right? Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
It says, so when we got on them ships, I want to paint this picture. Listen what I'm saying. God is real, bro, and his judgments is real.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? We ain't on the bottom for nothing. It don't make sense. Don't nothing else make sense. We done came up with everything here. See what I'm saying? We smarter than these people. We stronger than these people. I ain't just talking about the white man. I'm talking about everybody. You see what I'm saying? Nothing that. Why we just can't leave? Why we just can't do better? Because the Lord got his hand on us. He said, until you do right, you ain't gonna prosper. You're gonna stay at the bottom. Nothing else makes sense of why we still on the bottom. But God is real, and we got to keep his commandments.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So read that.
And there ye shall be sold.
So it said we was gonna be sold. Look at this. Let me paint this picture for you, bro. You see this right here? This us at the bottom of a packed on them slave ships. Men, women, and children packed on them slave ships. Imagine you being on the bottom. If you're on the bottom, what's happening, bro? You know we was on them ships for months.
Yeah.
You still got to use the bathroom.
Right.
You still got to do number 2. The sister still got to have their ministry. Sister still that came on pregnant got to have them babies. That was horrible. Because why? We didn't keep God's commandments. He told you, listen, if you don't do these things, I'm going to pack you on ships. And I'm going to allow your enemies, because they ain't physically or mentally stronger than you. They don't have endurance like you. I'm going to allow them to do this to you because of your disobedience, right? Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
And we were sold when they got us over here. After all this horrifying stuff happened, you thinking like, all right, man, we might get a break. I see some daylight walking up out that ship. We might get a break. Soon you get off, you getting tired. You getting beat. Your kids getting sold. You can put up on the auction block, right? You going this way. Imagine it, bro. You got these your babies. Imagine they putting you up on that block, bro, and take your baby to Louisiana, and put your boy at Georgia, and put your other baby in what is called Alabama. Think about the mental state that you will be in. And I'm gonna tell you something else that deep. Think about the mental state that we in now that we ain't never recovered from it. All the stuff that we went through. It'll be so bad to a brother walk up and be like, bro, I don't even believe in God no more, bro. It's that bad. But guess what? The only thing that's gonna fix it is us coming back to God and keeping His commandments, right? Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
So we were sold unto our enemies. We got enemies here. That's another thing that's bad. That's another thing that we don't realize. We got enemies. This ain't our arrest. We were sitting here to do a jail sentence. This is bondage. Remember, you said it was slavery. You said it was like going to jail or something like that, right? This is bondage. This is a jail sentence. And until we do good on that sentence, then we gonna be here until Christ come back. Or you're gonna die when them nuclear bombs hit. See what I'm saying? Because the Lord raising up men to get up out of here. Either you gonna get on the train, or you gonna get left here and be destroyed.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong.